4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath. Let's dive in.
Yes, we're ready to rock.
We are ready to rock and roll. All right. Uncle Danny,
Yes.
you guess you can introduce yourself to me, your Uncle Danny.
All right.
So,
my name is Dan Coletta.
Dan Coletta.
Yes.
Yes.
Which you married into the family.
Yes, I did marry to the family.
Yes, you did. Yes.
But that's not why I'm such a fan of, your wine or anything, though.
Yeah, well.
I actually love the wine, and gratitude is my favorite flavor.
Okay.
By the way, that's an amazing batch.
The Gratitude, which is made from Concord grape, and that's one of the largest grape variety we grow up there in the Lake Erie region, which is where Welch's is at.
Yes.
Which makes the Welch Concord juice and the jelly and everything.
Yep. I actually love that. I was happy that I got to see where you guys brought, the grapes after picking them. Yeah, I was there.
Oh, yeah. The whole process of it, how we pick it with the pickers, then we bring them, we load the box and everything on the trucks, and we take it over to the plant, and they dump it in a big hopper and everything like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a good thing. It's a real good thing. Now, you want to know a little bit about the history of the family grape farm, right?
Of course.
Well, my parents bought that farm in 54.
Uh-huh.
And they raised 9 children on that farm. 8 girls and 1 boy, which I was lucky to be that boy.
Were you lucky, or did you have to do a lot of work because you were the boy?
Well, I did my share of work, I would say. We all did our share of work. There was a lot of work to do on that time, because back in that period of time, is when you had grapes, but you had cherries, you had peaches, you had a variety of things. You had tomatoes we would grow. So you had everything on a farm. You even had a couple head of cattle, we milk cows and stuff like that, chickens. So you had everything. So you were self-efficient on that. And then as we all got older and this and that, when my parents retired, I came into the farm and took it over at that time. And that was in, was 96. And that's when my wife Ann and I took it over. And that's when we moved out of the town where we were in Northeast, and we moved up to the farm and started farming up there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we had our 5 children, and it carries on. Now, how we became
Cellar 54?
Yeah, Cellar 54, the winery, is that we always made wine ever since I was a kid. My dad made wine, for himself, and then Ann and I did too, and everything. It came to that point, but it was Ann wanted to do it. She says, let's start our own little winery. She's the one that really pushed it,
Yeah.
for the kids and everything, to have a little bit more than just vineyards. Because our farm grew when we took it over, we probably tripled in size, because we kept buying more vineyards and growing and growing and growing. And so we were at the point, wow, let's plant some varieties of wine grapes, and at the same time we could sell to the wineries, but we could have our own winery too. So we started doing that, and that's how we became Cellar 54, which is the year my parents bought that farm, 1954.
That's one of the first things that I saw when I came onto the property too, was at the entrance of the property, Cellar 54 and Welch's grapes.
Yeah. Yep.
One of the things that I love about being, on the land I love nature personally. I love nature and I love traveling. And because I live in a city, I love when I can just escape from traffic and just be in my own thoughts. And the first night that I came there and I saw the stars and I was surrounded, by all the land and the grapes, I didn't want to go back to Florida. I
Well,
didn't.
you are in the middle of a vineyard.
I know.
You're in the middle of a vineyard. You're in the middle. Yeah, you have no street lights. Yeah, you look at nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's amazing the stars you see at night.
Yeah.
But that's just, yeah. In the summertime, it's beautiful along the lakefront and up there and everything. It's a gorgeous little. Actually, it's a little paradise.
It is. That's what I'm saying. I honestly didn't want to come back. And I remember, telling Mariah, I'm like, Mariah, I don't want to go back to Florida. I honestly debated staying there. Like I really didn't want to go back. And it didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is a beautiful place. But even on that farm, we like I think I mentioned that we do have 13 different varieties of grapes now, which we're probably about 80% of our wines. We have 15 different types of wines now. 80% of those, the grapes themselves, come off of our farm.
Yeah.
And so our neighbor farms around us will buy the other grapes varieties that we need to produce our wines from there.
So as far as distribution is concerned, how do you sell wine when you're a border town? Because you're on the New York state line as well. So how does the politics of that work out? I mean,
it is a little tough there because on one side you got New York State, on the other side of the county you got Ohio State, Ohio.
Yeah.
So, and you can't go north because you got the Lake Erie.
Yeah, Canada's across the street.
So, the only way we can basically go is south, and that's we take care of Erie County. We are working on licenses to sell in New York State. We're working on that. We do have other entities, distributors and stuff in PA that we sell our wine to, and that helps out on sales too.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a good following in that point, and it keeps us very busy. Pennsylvania has a lot of wine shows.
Yeah.
And so we do travel to a lot of those too. But we are growing, for the few years that we've been in for existing. Let me see. We've been in there for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And we have grown so much. My children take care of it, basically. I let the children, I got the 3 girls and my son and my grandson. They'll take care of that business themselves. I oversee it, but my grandson Bo, he's the winemaker. He went to school for it. He worked under a couple winemakers,
Mm-hmm.
and that was one of the things that even my wife wanted to do is instead of him going out to California, he says, well, we do have to do that too. We have to, let's keep this family together a little bit and do this and that. And that's what the big thing we have done there, to keep everybody close, close together and working on that.
I think it's great when, as a family, you and your wife are able to provide not just food for now or shelter until they're 18, but to create a legacy where the entire family can benefit from what you guys have created. And it goes on to the next generation and the next generation.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, but as you guys are all growing, the town is growing with you guys too. I think that's what was impressive, because when I was there and you guys had a show going on, everyone that I met were people from the town, and I love that because everyone knew each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's something that it's harder to get here in Florida, where you've known someone for generations. This just doesn't really exist like that in Florida. Where there, I went to a bar that same night, and when I was talking to strangers, I mean, they all knew who you guys were. I'm talking to me, they're strangers, but they already knew you guys from the 50s. That was funny.
Well, your small towns, which it's what we got 12,000 people living in it. That's a small town, and you go 15 miles to the east, and then you have Erie.
Yeah.
Which is a little small city, but it's there. But when you set your roots there and you stay there, and it is a very close knit area, you tend to know everybody.
Yes, but the history, but I think too, like there's the good history, and then there's like the sporting history, because then if you are say that you wrestled in high school, right? There's a competing wrestling a team from down the street. Then the grandparents probably wrestled each other, and then the grandkids wrestled each other. That rivalry has been there forever.
Oh,
and I like that.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
it's like that rivalry of generational rivalry. It's like Romeo and Juliet, the families that feuded each other.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always been, your sports like that always came together like that, always. But and I mentioned the three girls. Now
Yes.
I have one more. My other daughter. 'Cause I had twin daughters too.
Yes.
And so the other twin, they purchased the golf course down the street. There was a golf right along the lakefront, and so they're more involved in that instead of the winery. So what we try to do is work together with events and stuff.
So from a marketing standpoint, when you guys do events, are you guys able to sell liquor and wine at the golf course, or beer? Like, how does that work? Since it's also it sits on the border of New York as well, right?
Yes. Well, as of right now, we're working to sell our product in her clubhouse.
Okay.
We're not there yet, but we are working to sell that in that case. There is licenses you can purchase on special events.
Yes.
So, we can purchase that on special events, but to sell it on the market part of it, we got to go with a distributor, which we are in the process of.
So for you, like in the state of Florida, to purchase like a beer and wine license, last I checked, it was $50,000 to do so. Is it similar?
Well, it's not like that. It's you have to get with a major distributor.
Yeah.
And so some of these distributors only open the door up
like a lottery
for
system?
applications maybe twice a year.
Oh.
And so when that door opens up, you better have everything, your I's dotted, your T's crossed and everything, and submit your paperwork in with all your samples and what it is. And that goes through the distributors, and if they like it, they accept you. If they don't, they don't. Then you just keep on trying and trying and trying. And I don't know about Florida, how it works down here. We're not familiar with the Florida, but I'm more familiar with PA and New York, on theirs. And we are looking in Ohio too, right along the lakefront up there in the Cleveland area. Because you're talking area sits right smack in the middle of Buffalo, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. We're right smack in the middle of that region.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a lot of people coming up from other cities, especially Pittsburgh. We're loaded with Pittsburgh people that will come up, and they love it. We get people up there that's never even seen the lake. They say this is an ocean.
Yeah, I thought it was the ocean too when I was looking at Lake Erie, and I had to go on my phone to realize that wasn't an ocean.
Oh
You know?
yeah, it's not a, because it stretches from Buffalo to Detroit.
Yes.
It's huge. I mean, you can't see the other side.
Yeah.
You know, you can go across on a boat, but boy, you better be ready for it because sometimes that lake can be, it can get rough sometimes. So
Did you? I think when I was up there, you had just purchased a boat, right? Or
Yeah.
were you? Yeah.
Yeah. yeah. So oh yeah, we take it out. We take it out.
That's how I know if I come back up there, I'm not gonna come back down here. And I'm telling you, it's just not all the things that I love in life. It's right there. I love the water. I love not being around a ton of people all the time like that. I love golfing. So I love wine.
Yeah, because you can the shores of Lake Erie. What makes it unique for the grape region is you got like 5 miles of flat land
Yes.
that goes from the hills. It goes north and flattens out all the way to Lake Erie, and that lake protects the vines from
But
ripening, not ripening, but it protects your vines from freezing in the spring. It'll hold back the vines from waking up, let's say. And so they won't bud as early. So they'll bud late. They'll bud maybe around the 15th of May. And if they do that,
get ready by October.
no, that you don't hit the dead frost.
Mm-hmm.
The frost will kill your buds, and it protects that vine in that part of it. And that's the biggest region. And then we have the good clay.
Yeah.
We have that clay down there that holds so much nutrients
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And the vine itself, the roots are very strong. I think they psi push is like 300 psi. So it pushes down the roots. Will get in that clay, and all the nutrients are in there, and it just soaks it up, and it makes a beautiful vine. Now, what's unique about that whole region? Okay, you have that crop, and then for the people that's living there in the summertime, they got the lake. In the wintertime, they can go up on top of the hill 15 miles away and go skiing all the time,
Yeah.
So you got skiing, you got terrific hunting up in the mountains. You got
Another thing I love.
yeah, it's just so much you can do in so short of a travel period, and you're not far from any major cities at all. I can travel to an airport within less than 2 hours in any direction. So that'll take you anywhere in the world. So it is very unique. You wouldn't believe the people that we do get from other countries there,
Mhm.
stuff too, that loves the region, But it's just it's just a nice little area. Would I ever leave it? No, no.
I mean, I didn't want to leave it, and I'm not even from there.
The winters used to be really rough up there, but in the last 2 years it hasn't been that rough. Yeah, do we get a couple feet of snow at a time? Yeah, but you know what? You can deal with that. That's like this. Schools may have a 1 hour or a 2 hour delay if you get 2 feet of snow. They won't even shut down. They're built for that.
Yeah.
They're ready to go. All they have to do is make sure the plows have enough time to get out there and plow the roads. They don't shut down.
Well, that's why you guys are so good at wrestling, because it's a winter sport, one. And two, if you're shut in, it's the perfect thing to do on the inside. It's funny. Like growing up, the two states that I loved for wrestling, like college wrestling, Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Those are my two.
Oh yeah, we've had a lot of good wrestlers come from Erie County, So yeah, matter of fact, Penn State has a couple of them, and they have a couple good football players too.
Yeah.
Throughout the colleges. So yeah, we produce pretty good athletes, and the girls too.
Yeah.
A couple of them. So
what does this mean? Like this business mean for you? Like is it for you? Is it my kids have it and I oversee it, and that's it, or do you feel a sense of accomplishment from everything that's coming out of it.
Oh, it has grown, since I was a kid. I grew up there.
Yeah.
I lived when I got married and everything. I moved to Northeast and had a family there for 15 years or so, whatever. Then I came back up to the farm, but I always was on the farm.
Yeah.
I really never left the farm, but it has grown so much, and it's unbelievable. I sit back and I think to myself, wow, we did a lot. We did a lot to that, and even when my sisters come back up to visit, they can't believe how much it has grown and improved and everything. But that's just, every business has to do that. Every business has to grow and improve. To survive anything, you have to, not a bunch, but 3%, 4% every year, something like that. You keep advancing. You will have a successful business, and that's just what we did.
But I love it. Here's I love marketing. I love the right kind of marketing, and the thing that I noticed, and I don't think I ever said this to you, was the reason why I think you guys are also so successful is because all of you are owners, right? So your kids are a part of it, they're owners, and they're on top of it. They're putting out the Facebook messages and they're doing the events and they're doing it. Like I see everyone playing their part, and that's beautiful. That, like, sure, it's family, so there are moments where people are going to butt heads, but
it's in a business. I really believe you have to butt heads a little bit. That's a sign of growth when butting heads, because it's different ideas. So you can grab a few thoughts here and a few thoughts there. I mean, it's how you control when you butt your heads. That's the way I believe it. It's everybody does everything different, but at the end, how's it going to come out at the end? Let's grab a little here, grab a little there, and it'll work out that way. And you have to respect that. I mean, everyone in that business, any business, you have to respect that. Don't just say, "Guy's no good," this and that. You work together, it'll grow. Respect each other. You got a clear path to success. That's the way it is.
It's funny that you say that, but in a corporate environment, they tell you the exact opposite. It's you keep the peace. Keep the peace. But
you do keep the peace in a way. They're right, because you do keep the peace because you respect each other's opinions, and so you're grabbing a little here and a little there, and so you're taking that basket full of energy, and you're coming out with a piece of dynamite.
Yeah.
Which is, that's how you grow.
Yeah.
You have to have that. You've got to have that energy. You don't have it, something's wrong.
One of the things that I hate about corporate environments is that a lot of times, I mean, yes, it's true that I don't get to, it's not my business, and I'm just someone that works for the corporation that's in charge of other people. And I get, like I was saying, in the corporate environment, one of the things that I hate about this generation is everyone's okay with just how things are. Like, no one's trying to come up with new ideas, and no one's trying to improve, and more people are lazy, and they just don't even know how to finish anything. Everyone starts things and they just don't finish it. And that's very frustrating for someone like myself, that, like, when I started, I was the youngest person when I started. And I was privileged enough that everyone that I worked with were people who were retired from management and things of that nature. So early on, I was able to just learn from everyone that was older than me. Even if I didn't plan on, at the time I didn't plan on going into management, but I still took the information regardless. And now, you have a lot of people who they say they want to go into management, but they don't want the information. Like they don't.
Well, I think some people do want to go into management, but they may not have the self-confidence in themselves. They might be a little scared, a little bit.
Yeah.
This and that. Where they, they're, you go into management, you're out there sometimes by yourself.
Yes.
And you got to come up with some decisions sometimes where you're uncomfortable with.
Yes.
So it is tough. It's tough to get. You need a good. How would I say it? You need a good person behind you.
Yeah.
To help you out sometimes.
Absolutely.
And that's it. This because it's that's how it goes. Everybody, nobody's born with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think you develop into a management position. You're not born with it.
I agree.
You develop yourself into a good relation, with your employer and employees. And that's where it comes from. Geez, I'm almost to the point where now I'm going to be stepping back, and letting the family run it more and more.
Yeah.
So that's how we all grow. That's how they're going to grow.
Is that something that's hard for you, or is it something you've been wanting to do?
Well, I'll tell you what's hard about the whole damn thing is when we first started this adventure with the winery. The wife and I, we started. She really wanted to go, and I was hesitating a little because I knew the work that was involved in it.
Did it bring you back to your childhood memories?
No,
Okay.
It didn't bring me back to childhood. I just knew, man, I got a ton of vineyards out there, and I'm doing this and that, and I know how much work there is, and I got people working, and then I'm going, wow. But she got me going. She did it. But then, she got sick and she passed away with, because of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And so we, the kids rallied and we got it done and got it up and got it going. And I give every one of my children, even Corinne with the golf course, because Ann was helping her on the golf course too, getting that business going. And yeah, I think every one of them picked up the pace a little bit and took care of it. And now, I'm ready. I'm getting to the point where I got to start easing back and making sure everything is going nice and easy for the, not easy, but they know the directions they're going in. And that's about it. It's been nice to have Ann around and see it, but hopefully she can see it where she's at.
Yeah. I think that's what makes great leaders. Like what you just said. Sometimes, being a leader isn't something that you decide yourself. Like someone else kind of pushes you in that direction, and everything just comes together that way. But then also, like, a great leader is someone that knows when to just back off. Back off, because when they back off, that's the time that, like you said, everyone grows. Because
Mm-hmm.
now they have to make the decisions and learn from whatever mistakes they make, and they get comfortable in that position because now they have experience. And the more you have your hand in it, the less experience they'll have. So,
Oh yeah. So I believe everything's going pretty decent right now, and yeah.
So what's a major takeaway if you had to impart some advice on someone that's young, that's trying to figure out the world right now? What would you tell them?
Well, there's two different ways to look at that.
All right, I'm all ears.
if I was just getting out of school, you got to know which direction you want to go. You know, if there is a family business, do you want to go in that family business? If there's not a family business and and you just don't know which way you want to go, the young kids, you know, getting out of high school, just, you know, do you want to go with higher education, become whatever you want to become, or do you want to go to a trade school and look and pick up a great trade? There's so much opportunity out there, and it's wide open for this. You know, it's wide open, but you'll get out of it. You got to work hard to get it. If you don't work hard in those 3 or 4 years you're in school learning it, you're going to have a harder time getting out. When you get out of, let's say you're done with college or you're done with trade school and you get into the trade, you say you're taking an apprenticeship you're doing your, wherever you have to go. You got to work hard for it. I mean, I really believe that. I mean, you listen to your, like me, old timer. You know?
No, say the old timer thing. I think
it's because the old timers will help guide you. You give them the respect, and I'll tell you what, they'll give you the world. If you come at them hard and everything, they're gonna brush you off to the side. But boy, you can learn a lot of stuff from them. And they'll tell you the ins and outs and this and that. And then with your new experience you got, because every generation is smarter than the last one.
Yeah.
That's where we grow. That's where the growth is. And so they take that old stuff, they put it in with the new stuff, and we got better stuff.
Yeah.
And it's there. It's actually there. And it's something that the young kids, you know, the younger generation has to realize. There's a lot out there. There's a lot of opportunities out there. It's everywhere, but they have to sometimes, you know, just work with the older guys and girls and go from there.
You know, it's funny. I can tell you for a fact, all of the success that I experience right now in my career is because I made the decision to be humble. You have to humble yourself and be open to criticism so you can grow. And sometimes, you know, how you get the criticism, it may not feel good, but it's something that it's necessary for you to be better. And you know, I have a mentor, and he's getting ready to retire, and a lot of people, they see that we have a great relationship, but they don't see the harsh side of me getting from there to here. They just see the finished product. Same like with wrestling. You know, in practice, you could get your butt kicked every single day, and you probably think you suck because you're getting, you know, your butt kicked by people with more experience. You're getting, you know, your wrestling coach is beating you up every single day, and you think you suck until you go and wrestle with somebody your own age, and then you realize that, oh, maybe I don't suck. And that's how, you know, I feel about, you know, my career right now, is that I have gotten my butt kicked so many times in harsh ways that makes the problems that I encounter now like seem easy. Like, oh, I don't freak out. I'm just like, okay, this is what I have to do. And, you know, I think that this generation could use more of that. You know, everyone's just being pampered and they don't know how to overcome, you know, harsh things. But regardless, you know, I'm just so grateful that I've experienced all of those things in life. And I'm also grateful that I got to experience the vineyard and be part of the family. And, you know, when I first met you guys all made me feel so welcome, you know, right away. And I just feel so privileged to get to be a part of all of that. And thank you guys for just being great people. Not even good, but great people. You know, maybe that's why I love your wine so much.
Yeah.
And I just felt like right at home, like going there. And this is like almost a decade in now. And, you know, I'm just so grateful to be a part of the family.
All right.
So thank you.
Well,
you know?
Thank you.